Welcome back. The handoff has officially been received and Green Bay is on the clock for the 2025 NFL Draft here in Titletown. Over the next 11 months, we'll be sharing stories of preparation and excitement for the draft. Emerson Lehman kicks off our countdown to the draft series.
After a historic 2024 NFL Draft that saw over 700,000 football fans take over the streets of Detroit,
the draft being here is awesome.
The ball has been handed off from Motown to Titletown. Green Bay officially on the clock for 2025.
We sure the hell aren't going to fumble it on our own turf.
The ball was delivered by ferry to Governor Tony Evers and Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy on the shores of Lake Michigan in Milwaukee, a part of the state with a rich football history. The Packers played some of their home games in Milwaukee from 1933 to 1994. And back on December 9th, 1939, Wisconsin hosted its first NFL draft at downtown Milwaukee's Hotel Schrader.
Everyone is so energetic, everyone loves their team.
The modern-day draft experience is a much larger undertaking, with Green Bay anticipating upwards of 250,000 fans over the course of the three-day draft.
We're going to be relying on the whole state to house fans from Madison to Milwaukee.
The state helping out Green Bay and the draft returning the favor with a $94 million economic impact expected across Wisconsin. Titletown preparing for a ride like no other.
Now the attention turns to the Packers, Green Bay, and the entire state. And it's an opportunity for us to celebrate football and welcome visitors. And as has been mentioned, the great history and tradition of the Packers, and of course, iconic Lambeau Field.
You heard Murphy reference tradition. He was very happy to have the bike tradition included, trekking the ceremonial draft football to Lambeau as a part of Tuesday's Pedal to the Draft kickoff event. And he says fans can expect that biking tradition to be showcased more in the months to come. Back to you.